Hello and welcome back to the ADHD Linguist. I'm Hiba Bayat, interpreter, translator, advocate for neurodivergent voices, and lately, a part-time human sponge absorbing all things ADHD coaching. I've been a little quieter on the podcast recently, and that's because I've been deep in training to become a certified ADHD coach. And I don't just mean learning. I've also been applying what I learn in real time, working with some of my brilliant colleagues who've kindly joined me on this journey. So if you're one of the lovely humans I've had the honour of coaching, thank you! I hope you're already finding it useful. And I certainly am learning just as much from you. Now that I'm emerging from the hyper-focus tunnel, I'm back. And I've brought with me a topic that so many of us feel deeply: emotional regulation. So let's start with the basics. Emotional regulation is your brain's ability to monitor, manage, and respond to emotions in a way that feels appropriate to the situation. It's not about ignoring or controlling your emotions. It's about being able to notice what you're feeling, name it, and choose how to respond. In ADHD, emotional regulation can be especially challenging. Many of us feel emotions more intensely, and we may struggle to shift gears once we're emotionally activated. You might cry easily at something small, snap when overwhelmed, or feel completely consumed by joy, sadness, frustration, or panic. It's like your emotional volume knob is always turned all the way up and someone broke the mute button. There's a neurological reason for this. Emotional regulation involves a part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex, the same part responsible for executive functioning. That means that planning, decision-making, impulse control, and emotional regulation are all tied together. In ADHD, the pathways between the emotional brain, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex may be weaker or slower to activate. This means it can take longer for logic to catch up with feeling. So you feel first, you think later. And that gap between feeling and thinking can be overwhelming. Now let's bring language into the picture. If you are bilingual or multilingual, your emotional responses might show up differently depending on the language you're using. Some people find they cry more easily in their emotional or home language. Others feel more detached or controlled when speaking a second or professional language. Language isn't just a tool, it's a layer of emotional context. For interpreters and translators, this gets even more complicated. You may need to remain neutral while processing deeply emotional content, and that creates a kind of emotional dissonance. You are carrying emotion on behalf of others, but you're not always allowed to express it. That can build up and eventually spill over. As language professionals, emotional regulation shows up in ways others might not see. You might over-prepare because you fear getting overwhelmed. You might avoid certain types of jobs because they're emotionally triggering. You might over-apologize for things that are not your fault. And you might shut down completely in moments of emotional overload. You may also experience emotional hangovers, where a job leaves you drained, foggy, or highly reactive for hours or even days afterwards. That is real and deserves care. You might be wondering about RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria. It's a big part of emotional regulation in ADHD, and it absolutely deserves a whole episode of its own. So we'll explore RSD fully in a future episode. How it shows up, how it differs from general low self-esteem, and how we can work with it gently and honestly. So what can help? Here are some practical things that support emotional regulation, especially in ADHD. 1. Name it to tame it. Labeling your emotion can activate your prefrontal cortex and reduce intensity. 2. Movement. Physical movement helps burn off stress chemicals and regulate mood. 3. Co-regulation. Connecting with someone calm and grounded can help reset your own system. 4. Scripts. Pre-prepared responses for emotionally tough situations can give your brain something to fall back on. 5. Sensory strategies. Weighted blankets, noise-cancelling headphones, soft textures, whatever helps you feel safe. And of course, coaching, therapy, and support groups can all play a huge role, especially if they are neuroaffirming and understand how ADHD actually feels. So let's reframe this. If you feel too much or too quickly, that's not a character flaw. It's part of your neurotype. Your emotions are valid, your intensity is not too much, and your capacity to feel deeply is not a weakness. It might need support, it might need understanding, but it does not need fixing. Let me leave you with 3 gentle takeaways. 1. ADHD often comes with intense emotions, and that is neurologically real. 2. Emotional regulation can be learnt, supported, and strengthened, even in adulthood. 3. Feeling deeply is not a flaw, it's part of your brilliance. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the ADHD Linguist. If this resonated with you or made you feel a little more seen, I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me via email or socials. All links are in the show notes. And if you're one of the beautiful people I'm coaching right now, thank you again. Your trust means the world, and I hope our work together continues to support your growth, self-understanding, and self-compassion. Next time, we'll explore ADHD paralysis, why we get stuck, even when we want to move forward, and what science and lived experience can teach us about that. Until then, be kind to your mind, honor your emotional waves, and remember, you're not too much. You're just enough.